and my work calls for me to travel. That must be intimidating. And I also can't show up properly for my significant other. But I'm also now spiritually aligned so much where I know that I'm surrounded by love everywhere I go, right? I'm not seeking, and I know that it will be granted to me in divine time. And I'm not worried about it because my life is full of love. And it comes in so many different forms, not just one person.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self-Love Over Sacrifice, where we talk about all things related to women's issues. Now, Maya is looking beautiful and youthful, and I love that she is being outspoken about being a single woman with no children, as it has been encouraged among many women to have kids and follow the American standard of family. Now, I know Maya is racially ambiguous, but there are many racially ambiguous women and Black women who are choosing to be child-free and single. Maya has said in many interviews that she has gotten a lot of pushback from people. She is indeed a beautiful woman, and people can't understand, along with men particularly, why is it that she doesn't want to get married or have children. They want to humble her and slow her down, and she's made it very clear that she has been on a very beautiful, authentic, spiritual healing journey. I will say, as a woman myself who is child-free by choice, it's one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my life. It allows you to heal the inner girl in you and any type of childhood wounds you might have. And I have learned that specifically with other women with whom I've worked with in the mental health field. When you are constantly taking care of everybody else around you, you neglect your own mental health as well as physical health. So it has allowed me to go on a spiritual healing that is like no other, and I love it. I always say, if an older Black woman encourages you to get married and have kids, she don't like you, baby. She really don't. Because it's not that simple. If marriage and having kids was such a wonderful thing, number one, why do studies and statistics show that divorce rates are high and foster care is overflowing with unwanted children? Can anybody explain that? The world can lie to you as much as it wants to, but motherhood and being a wife is not all what it's cracked up to be. Otherwise, divorce rates wouldn't be so high. There are too many loveless relationships, okay? There are too many people in unhealthy, unhappy marriages, but they just won't leave because they don't want to. They don't want to file the divorce papers. They'd rather just stick through this and put on a face for other people. That's why I do not value those marriages where people have been married for 15, 20, 30, 60 years, because I don't know what type of mess they have put each other through throughout this entire time that they're not letting people know. And number two, if good men were that easy to come by, then the majority of women in society would be married. I think many women now have come full circle to understand that some of you are just going to have to be alone, because many men out there are just not good human beings, and it doesn't really matter the race of the man. Many of them are just not good human beings. We have seen far too many stories of men baby trapping women, of men putting women in poverty, getting them pregnant multiple times, knowing they have no desire to stick around, or weaponizing incompetence, pretending they don't know how to use a dishwasher or a washing machine. I mean, it's a mess because they purposely want her to do all these things by herself. Many women have found themselves having to drop out of college, having to leave the work environment so they can take care of their children. And God forbid, if you have a kid who has autism or some type of behavioral issues, then you can kiss your career practically goodbye, because you're going to get a lot of phone calls from the school to come and pick up your child, because the school will not tolerate certain behaviors from kids. And this doesn't even matter what race the child is. And this is coming from a woman who used to be in RBT, a woman who used to work with autistic kids. I had to move myself out of that field because I'm not for that field. That field is not for the weak. I don't take too kind of kids being aggressive with me, and it's just not for me. And so if that child is aggressive with me, I know they're aggressive with their parents. So you're not even guaranteed to have a healthy child. And many people are not prepared for that. You need a village. You need a support system. You need people who are going to support you raising those kids. That support group should be composed of your side of the family, your husband's side of the family, and friends. And many women do not have that. Now, I do want to say something about mothers and single mothers because they do get crapped on a lot by society. I want to say this. I have known Black single mothers on two different spectrums. On the best spectrum of all, I've known Black single mothers who outdid me, and I was impressed and I loved it because they were single moms by divorce, and they owned their own home. They owned a business. They had multiple degrees. Their kids did not miss anything because that man was not around. They still were able to take their kids on vacations. They still were able to expose their kids to a life that most children would never be exposed to because of their education and their financial wealth. And I admired that so much. There are also single mothers who struggle heavily, like I just mentioned not long ago. And that's on the opposite spectrum. Those who have no family support, that suffer from depression, mental health illnesses, and a whole slew of other things, struggling to raise children, and it has a negative impact on those kids. So you can still be a woman out there who maybe you became a single mother by divorce, but you're still able to keep on going and take care of your family and not break a sweat. Then you can be the ones who struggle significantly. And I encourage you to heavily think through and process what could happen, what would happen, and how can you maintain your family just in case that man walks away. And because you have to even think that way, because men are very iffy, I would definitely recommend women to not even bother to have them, because you cannot guarantee how these men are going to act at the end of the day. What I love about Maya is that she is living life on her terms and not allowing other people to tell her how to live her life. I always tell young women, when you pass away, that's it. You don't get to do a do-over. So live your life the way you want to live it. Do not let people, old bitter people and young bitter people, tell you what to do in your life. I love y'all. Y'all take care. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see y'all the next time. Bye.